Hi guys, welcome back. We'll be discussing about a few more interview questions, basically in the part 7 of our network engineer interview questions and answers. And the level, here will be medium. So let's get started. So in this series right now we have, in this particular episode we have 4 questions. We'll start with the first one. What steps do you take if there's a DDoS attack in the network? All right. I hope you know what a DDoS attack is, where from multiple servers or multiple pods you get attacked and your CPU is overwhelmed and you are not able to do your business as usual, right? So the first one is, you identify traffic spike, because all of us now will have, either it's Linux, you can use commands like top, right? Or if you have, mostly systems will have a dashboard these days, right? Either you use SNMP or you have a dashboard. So you will be able to, under the CPU section, you will be able to see a spike. Right, this spike basically tells you that the CPU has gone over 100%. You will have levels here as per your graphs. So, basically you check your you identify your spikes, classify the attack type, right? It's either volumetric, protocol based. It can be TCP flood, SYN flood, right? You get HTTPS, right? And excuse me. Accordingly, you block your traffic. Okay, according to the if it's SYN flood, you block SYN traffic, use limiters, right? If it's HTTPS, you use HTTPS limiters. And then if it's from a particular IP or a particular geolocation, then what you do is you make sure you block that malicious IP or block that malicious IP range or that geolocation based. Sometimes we block IPs from a certain country. Okay, like I said, you apply rate limiters, then you engage your ISP or cloud-based scrubbing filter to service to filter traffic upstream. So this is another thing. If you have genuinely worked right in this either TAC environment, NOC, or any network engineering related environments, either any OEMs, you will have an idea on this. That if you have if this is particular network, this is your ISP. You have a static IP provided by your ISP. So, and if you exceed a limit of sending either emails, right, or spams, right, or phishing, accordingly your ISP will blacklist you. Okay, it happened. There are a lot of false positives as well. So if you want, you can go on Google. You can check if your IP is blacklisted or not. There are a lot of websites that help you with it. You can check your IP is my IP blacklisted or not. Okay, and then you need to engage with your ISP. Then your ISP will tell you that this was the reason you were sending approximately 1,000 emails a day. That is the reason your IP is being blacklisted. So shoot out an email, and then probably in 24 hours or within some time they remove you from the blacklist. Now you have monitor system performance and ensure business critical app remains available. This is again very important. So if your particular server is being overwhelmed, the CPU is going high, a lot of things that cannot happen. The very simple thing is your VPN stops working if it's a firewall, right? Packet processing takes a lot of time, right? Sometimes even the memory will cross the threshold. That happens. So because of this, there are a lot of business critical applications, right? They'll stop working. So you need to make sure that you follow all these steps, right? And for your business critical applications, it's always great to configure a QoS. QoS is basically quality of service, which ensures that that particular application gets all the bandwidth it needs, and this will definitely help when. So, for example, this is your firewall. Okay, so you have a lot of servers hosting different applications, but for example, this one is business critical, right? So this particular application will get preference or more bandwidth as compared to the other two. So this is basically what QoS, quality of service. This is again a very important topic and widely used, right? Either with schedulers or not with schedulers, but it's again widely used. Okay, now the last one is perform root cause analysis and update your protection policies accordingly. So again, like I've said in all of my videos, that logs, if you're a network engineer, or even if you're a tester, you're a developer, if you need to get the RC of anything, RC is root cause analysis, you will need to make sure that logs are your best friend, right? Logs are always your best friend. So even if you do a top command, you will see that your CPU is going high. Then you probably do a service -s. You see which service is taking time, right? Then even you can check for cores in your system. You can check zombie processes, right? And yeah, all these things will definitely help you, right? If your CPU is going high, and then if you see that you're getting attacks by a lot of IPs, then go ahead and block those IPs. Okay. So this was clear. I hope the first question is clear. Moving on to the second one. What's your approach when VPN phase 1 and phase 2 both are down? So we'll go over this, and then I'll tell you my personal you know shortcut, okay, which will definitely help you. The first one is check reachability to peer IP using traceroute. Again, you have site A to site B. We're talking about IPsec here, okay. So from here, you have two PCs. Try, I'll say 1 and 2, okay. Try ping from 1 to 2 and 2 to 1. Also try ping from A to B and B to A, right? If A to B is pinging and you do a traceroute as well, it's going via single hop if it's a VPN, right? But A1 and 2 are not reachable, then there is something wrong with your configuration. Okay. Your LAN IPs or LAN range, whatever you're given, might not encompass this basically device. Okay, that could be one of the reasons. Now, next one is, right, ensure VPN related ports are open. If you're using NATing, your port 4500 should be turned on. If you're not, UDP. If you're not using NATing, then by default port 500 should be open, and make sure they are not blocked in your own networks, right? Then troubleshooting, how you do it is you verify the IK version using version 1 or version 2, right? Then you use check the encryption that you have mentioned on both the sides. You check the pre-shared key or certificates that you're using, right? If phase 1 is successful, now you move to phase 2. You check the validate encryption domains, check transformation sets again, and make sure lifetimes match. Both the lifetimes on key lifetimes on phase 1 here and phase 2 should match on both A and B. Now then you use debug policy, log commands. So we'll move on to this next. But in this particular part, right, what I want you to do is, okay, let me just clear this off once. What I really want you to do is, so anyway, you're gonna check this on a browser or via any other Linux tool if you're using the CLI. But for example, if you're using browser, right, or if you're using CLI, open them simultaneously, check the configuration simultaneously, and see if there is something different. Okay. Definitely here if local is site A, remote is site B, then here local will be B and remote will be A. Okay, this is clear, this is simple, but you'll need to make sure that all these things are there. Okay, they are correct. They are actually same on both the sides. Okay, key lifetimes can differ depending on the initiator and the responder, right? That can differ, that doesn't matter. That again, you can set the same, might cause issues, might not cause issues, but you need to make sure that configuration on both the sides are almost same. You know, like I explained, the remote and what do you call local logic. So you need to make sure of that. Once that is done, 90% of your issues are resolved. Okay, 99% of the issues are resolved. Only when even after that it fails, then you move on to the other two. Then again, like I told you, logs are your best friends. Best friend, I'm sorry. So if you use log to debug, debug commands like show crypto isacamp sa debug or show VPN session, depends on different vendors. They have different commands, right? Mostly use IPsec-D to check the IPsec logs IKE. Then if you have any VPN policy, if the VPN is policy based, confirms ACLs are correctly matching the interesting traffic. If you know what policy based and route based is, if you need a refresher, you can definitely go and click on the I button. I'll share the video. We have a detailed video on it, which make sure it's very simple for you to understand, work, and then answer in interviews. So again, I'll reiterate, ACL based VPN, all the routing will be based on the ACLs that they have created. If it's policy based, that means it works on the policies or the ACLs. Okay. If it's route based, all the decisions of the traffic, where it'll go, how it'll go, that is based on the route. Okay. I hope it's pretty clear. Now, I think this one is also clear. Moving on. What do you do when both active active and active passive clusters are down? For example, you have two clusters. Okay, so this is a very general question. They rather than asking you by one for active, active, and active passive, they're just asking you, okay, just tell me the troubleshooting methods for if it's it's active passive and active active. Okay. Step one is you log in to both of the device individually to check if they are reachable or not. Okay, they're powered on, they're reachable or not. Very basic troubleshooting. Then you check the heartbeat messages or the HA control links. Look for failures because they will have a heartbeat signal here. So usually we have two things. One will be the data link, one will be the control link. Okay, data link will be sent to synchronized sessions, and control link will have heartbeat messages just to make sure both of them are intact. Okay, so you check heartbeat messages, look for HA failures, cable issues, review HA status in both firewalls, right? You depends on the firewall, but mostly you will see if you log in into A, if it's active passive, you will be able to see A is active, B, for example, it is B is passive. Okay, and both of them will have an green light on them, showing that both of them are up. Depends on different vendors, but this is the usual case. So verify, track interfaces, HA hearts, health check if any interface is down, right? If needed, isolate one unit and manually force to restore. This is again a very common thing. Sometimes, what happens is due to some issues, right? In a practical world, what you do is you isolate the cluster, right? Then you do a manual failover or something, and then you bring it back up. Okay. And for a cluster, always make sure that the prerequisites defined by the vendors are complete. Mostly the prerequisites will always be same. Hardware should be same, version should be same, software should be same, right? Also with this, I believe the licenses should be same, the interfaces should almost be same, right? There could be n number of things, but you need to make sure that both the devices are in sync. Only then you can bring them together. So now once it's stable, investigate logs and find the root cause. But this is basically it. It's more or less same for active active and active passive. uh, you need to make sure that both of them are in sync. So this is also clear. Fourth question could be, you can say that in sequence to the third one. So we can say that which interface handles Keepalives and session synchronization in a firewall cluster. Which interface? Like I told you, there are two links: control and data. Okay. So now Keepalives are sent over the control link, like I told you. Keepalives or the HA health checks will be sent over the control links, and the data link will help you synchronize the sessions. So Keepalives are sent over the HA control link. For example, HA1 in Palo Alto, failover link in Cisco ASA, used to detect node and trigger failover. Session synchronization is done via the HA sync link. So if you have again A and B, you will have, this is the control link, by the way, this is the data link. So over the data link, what you will do is there'll always again be a setting here. There'll be a checkbox. You'll need to turn on session synchronization. So once you turn on session synchronization, via the data link, all the session IDs will, they'll keep transferring the session IDs from A to B. They'll just duplicate it just to make sure if A is down, if A goes down, when B takes over. For example, if we're talking about active passive, okay, and B goes down, B has all the sessions, so there is zero time downtime. So the users will not have to reconnect. It'll just be a 1 second drop and then they'll be up. Not even 1 second, right? So this is the beauty of cluster. Helps bring the downtime, maintains redundancy, but they also has provide us with a lot of features as well that we need to understand and make sure that they are enabled as per the organization's requirements. So now, like I said, HA data link is used to sync data. This is an again important point. Now, third point is these interfaces should be dedicated for the HA only. No other data. No, usually if I'm trying to access, if this is my PC, I'm trying to access a server here, for example. So it will not flow through these links. It should have a different link. Simple data link, ordinary data link. It will not travel through here. Okay. So these two particular links are dedicated only for the HA. One is data, one is control. Okay. And again, they should be high bandwidth, low latency because they are business critical. Okay. Not used for regular production or use data, like I told you. Okay. They should be dedicated. So I hope this point is also clear, right? Just three simple questions, but mostly how we need to answer them is like, the interviewer or the person who's basically taking your interview should understand you have worked in a real life scenarios. you have production ideas, right? You know how the dependency works and how exactly you move on to troubleshooting part. So it's, I think for networking devices, it's not always the device, it's the way you approach. So it's mostly about approach. I hope this is clear. And if you have any other questions, or if you want me to discuss about any other topics, please do let me know. We will start a new series on Wireshark and GNS to start explaining things a little better, you know, in the real life prod environments as well. So if you want me to discuss about anything, please do let me know. And I hope this was helpful. Thank you.